Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am. The question from Honorable Bajila was to ascertain the total revenue collected from motor vehicle license fees during the period January to June 2025 and explain how this has impacted on access of information in Zimbabwe. The total revenue collected from motor vehicle radio licenses fees during the period is 13.6 million United States dollars, of which 20% was in United States dollars and 80% in local currency converted at interbank rates. Revenue from ZBC radio fees boost public radio access by expanding terrestrial infrastructure through transmedia and advancing Zim Digital Phase 2 for superior signal reach. Funds also support bars, community stations, and ZIFTESA's provincial content hubs. This state income stream fills past revenue shortfalls caused by law compliances. The funding enables richer programming, including local content production, and 10 new film hubs that have been targeted and which are currently being established. It supports training and quality upgrades, shifting from basic broadcasts to captivating shows. Officials emphasize prioritizing Zimbabwean stories over imported content. Fees are essential for procurement of equipment like HD cameras, transmitters, and editing tools for crisp visuals and audio. Mobile units improve live coverage of key events such as state events or disasters. Infrastructure growth leverages 97% mobile penetration for broader rural access. I submit, Madam Speaker.
A supplementary.
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Bachelor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Minister's response basically explains what these funds are for. And we all know that because it is included in the Act. The question that I was asking, and which I'm still asking, is, you collected 13.6 million. What did you do with it? Because the Minister's explanation is simply to say, this is what this money is for. We appreciate that point. The question is, what did you do with the 13.6 million that has been collected during the said period? I thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am. Madam Speaker, ma'am, in the response, or from the question was to indicate the impact that has been achieved in terms of giving access to information in Zimbabwe. That was the original question, and he never indicated that he wanted an outline of the exact projects that were done using the 13.6 million. The question was to do with the impact. And what I've just indicated, Madam Speaker, ma'am, unless the questioner now wants a detailed outline of how the 13.6 million was spent. But Madam Speaker, ma'am, this was a period which he just singled out. And the collections continue to happen and projects are continuous. I may, if I go back, bring the projects that were done using the funds that were collected during the period that you have just singled out. But like I indicated, Madam Speaker, ma'am, these collections are just continuous, and we continue to notice or to realize some impact from the funds that are being collected in terms of new transmitters that are being installed, and also the transition that is happening. A good example is a Montrose studio that has been upgraded from the from the old ways of sending the signals to the digital signals that have just been achieved. So there are a lot of projects, Madam Speaker, ma'am. Another example is, as we speak, we have in Mapisa, where the independence celebrations will be held. There has been a transmitter which was established, and the coverage is 80-kilometer radius. It's just one of the examples that for which the money is being used, but there are many projects that are being realized from the funds that are being collected. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I thank you.
Preliminary?
Supplementary. Honorable
Kapo Ikilu, sometimes they call me Honorable Sachs.
you
or
may go
Comfort.
ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. My supplementary question is, ZBC has collected over 13 million, but why is it still using analog systems? Yesterday I was driving from Bulawayo to Harare. I tried to listen to ZBC. I could hardly get any connectivity. But motorists are still paying. It is compulsory to pay for radio licenses. How come we still have such a scenario after collecting so much money? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am. Madam Speaker, ma'am, we have 177 radio transmitters that are located around this country, and the transition that is happening from analog to digital transmission is continuous, and the 13.6 million that I've just referred to is not enough to complete all the 177 radio transmitters. Apart from radio transmitters, Madam Speaker, ma'am, we are also refurbishing or transforming the television transmitters. Again, we have 36 television transmitters which are being worked on from analog to digital transmission, and also for the provision of the set-top boxes. So to say 13.6 million was collected and it doesn't seem to have shown its usefulness, that is not correct, Madam Speaker, ma'am, but maybe in terms of where the honorable member was yesterday when he tried to switch on to the radio, if the reception is not good, obviously that should have been the case, but it is our intention that all the areas, as we speak, Madam Speaker, ma'am, our radio reception is at 81% throughout the whole country, and we don't doubt that there are some pockets which still have a poor reception, but as we get to the end of 2026, the plan is to get to 85% of the coverage of the whole country, and as we get to 2030, we promise that we will have covered 100% of the whole country through the funds that are being collected as radio license fees. I thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am.